Hello. How you feeling tonight? I feel okay. I'm definitely sleepy because I woke up super early. Even though today was my day off, my brain don't care. It's already, we're in late May now in Japan, which means the sun's getting up earlier and earlier and earlier. So it's like, I think at this point by 5 a.m. the sun is fully up. So I usually don't sleep in past 5:30 at this point because it's just so bright. But it was my day off, and I had business to take care of. Now, if you saw last week's video, or if you spoke to me in the last few days, you know what my business was, because I'm still mad about it. I had to go back to the post office to get that money that my mom sent to me. If you're unfamiliar with this, in America, when you send a money order in the mail, you send it to someone, they get it, they go to the post office window, and they say, "I'd like to cash this, please," and they cash it immediately. Immediately. I did this once in Japan with a special international money order. It took a lot of forms I had to fill out, but I got the money. Last week, I tried to get the money. They told me I couldn't have the money. They had to send the money order away somewhere else. And then once someone else said it was okay, they would give me the money, which I was pretty upset about. But today was the day. I got a phone call earlier this week saying, "Please come back. We have the money." I was like, "Okay, great." I have to wait for my next day off because they close at 4. Again, it's bank stuff, so no one can do a bank stuff after 5 p.m. apparently. So, whatever. I went down there, when they called me, they told me everything I needed to show them. And I had all of it with me. Everything. I was super prepared, especially the form. When I gave them the money orders last week and they took them away to send them to someone, I had to fill out a special form that showed that I gave them something and they're going to keep it for now. So, like, make sure you bring that form. I was like, I got it. Believe me, I did not lose the form. So I went down there. I went there early today because, like, I'm not going to wait for lunchtime. I don't want to deal with the crowd. I'm going there early. It'll just be me and a bunch of old people, and that's exactly who was in there. It was me and a bunch of old people. And, I still had to wait. I still had to fill out multiple forms. By my count, I think between last week and this week, I think I filled out 7 different forms to cash these money orders. 7. In America, I'm pretty sure it's 0. Here in Japan, I had to fill out 7 forms to cash these money orders. And they keep asking questions. They kept calling me up. They keep getting, "Sit down. Oh, come back up." They keep asking me more questions. And I'm sure the person at the counter is just doing what they're told. But it's really hard for me to keep my patience when they're asking me questions that are no one's business, okay? What is this money for? It's a gift from my mother. That should be the end of the conversation. But like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And there's like a checkbox. I had to check a box like, maybe this one? And it's in Japanese, seikatsuki, which is just like money for living. It's like, yeah, I'm going to use this money to live. I'm going to live my life with this money my mom gave me. Like, okay, well, on this form, please write in the reason. And this woman gave me like a long sentence of description. I'm like, it's a present. I'm writing the word present. Okasan, like a present from my mother. That's what I'm writing on here. That's enough. And she's like, "Oh, so this is for, yeah, seikatsuhi. This is for, your expenses. So how many months of expense?" And I'm like, I don't know. And I was, it was the closest I got. Again, everything went relatively smoothly today, and I did get the money. But that moment was the closest I came to really losing it. I'm like, you don't need to answer. Do not ask me that question because I'm not going to answer it. And it was just sensational. I was like, get out of here. No, I'm not telling you what this money is for. It's a gift from my mother. Go fuck yourself. Even if you were a cop and you're not, lady, you don't get to ask that question. In the end, though, I got the goddamn money. And I took some of that money, and I had to visit multiple other banks because my wife had errands for me, and I did all this stuff, and I was done. And I went home, and finally, I have my fucking money. I ate pizza for lunch, which felt great. And then I got a phone call around 3 p.m. It was the same lady from the post office, and she was very, very sorry, and she was speaking too fast in very polite language, but The form that I filled out last week that showed that I gave them something, she's very, very sorry, but they need me to sign it to show that I got the forms back. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And I was like, at no point did I even offer to go back there. It's like, fuck you. I'm not going back to that office again. And she's like, oh, well, we can send someone out to you. You're home right? Like, yeah, I'm home. And I know she knows my address because guess what? I wrote it like 5 times today. Every time I got to copy it to a new form. Don't ask me why. But, could we send someone out? I'm very sorry. I was like, yeah, I know you're not, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I couldn't have been more displeased on the phone. Because I don't care. You want me to sign this form that I don't want or need? Sure. Whatever. So some guy came to the house, and he's got a form. And, of course, it's a big question mark. It's like, where do I sign it? And then what do I sign? Because when you live in Japan and your name's not Japanese, guess what? You have to constantly ask people how you want them to sign it. Should I print it? Should I sign it? Which what I actually do when I sign it? Do I put my first name first, my last name first? Do you want my middle name? Like, how do you want me to write this name? So I had to ask that. I was asked that question multiple times today, and I answered it. And so it came up again at the end of the day. It's like, oh, how do I write this name? Like, I don't know. And he was very unsure. I'm like, man, fuck you. You came to my house. Tell me what to do. So eventually I wrote my name on there. And then he's like, and then he just, and this is a weird thing that happens in Japan a lot. If you go to a bank and they inconvenience you, they're not sorry, because they're just doing what they're doing, but they often give you a small, meaningless present. Usually it's like pocket tissues. Today, this man just like pulled out of his bag. He just gave me a bottle of dishwashing soap. Like, here. And I'm like, thanks. It's like, it's not useless. I'll use it to wash dishes, but it's like, does he think in any way that all of the events that led up to this moment justified me getting a bottle of soap? Whatever. I got the money. They can't have it back. I signed their stupid form. I don't know. I'll talk to my mom about doing this again in the future. I'm going to ask her. It's like, maybe we can do this once a year, because it is such an ordeal. And I don't want to go back there and do this all over again and fill out a half dozen forms again just to get a small amount of money. It's not that much money, okay? I'm not going to say a number, but it wasn't that much money. And they were freaking out. They were freaking out like I was doing some kind of international real estate deal. No thanks. But the good news is I got the money. The good news is I had the day off. And the good news is I'm going to sleep. So good night, everybody. I love you.